Family shocked as deceased woman wakes up during her own wake. And it reminds me of the situation of Saved by the Bell, and I'll tell you how that phrase came about. So, 76-year-old had previously been declared dead after suffering from a suspected stroke a few hours beforehand. Being buried alive is one of the worst scenarios imaginable, and a fate that almost befell a woman who was brought to the emergency room at a hospital in Ecuador recently. The retired nurse had been suffering from a suspected stroke and cardiopulmonary arrest, leaving doctors battled to save her life. Ultimately, though, they believed they were successful and she was subsequently declared dead. They were unsuccessful and she was declared dead. When family members gathered for her wake later that day, however, they were shocked to hear noises coming from her coffin and the sound of heavy breathing. When they investigated, they were surprised to find her very much alive. There were about 20 of us there, said a woman's son, Gilberto Barrera. After about 5 hours of the wake, the coffin started to make sounds. My mom was wrapped in sheets and hitting the coffin, and when we approached, we could see that she was breathing heavily, of course, because she was suffocating. Officials are now investigating the issue of death certificates at the hospital. The woman, meanwhile, remains in intensive care. This is from CBS News on Unexplained Mysteries. And now, how did the phrase "Saved by the Bell" come about? In England, there were a lot of cases of people waking up in their coffins. So what they used to do is, after they buried them, they would have a bell on top, and they would tie a string going through the ground into the coffin onto the person's finger. So what if the person revived, moving, the body moving would cause the bell to ring on top. So people would hear the bells ringing on top above their coffin, above their tombs. They would come to dig out the person that was there below. So obviously this is what was going on. That's how the phrase "Saved by the Bell" came about, by the way. Okay, so please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support, and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.